and welcome to Exodia's weekly live sessions where we touch upon the topics that are really crucial and that are really important for our life. My name is Dr. Pavnesh, and I welcome you on behalf of Exodia. From Exodia, we are touching lives of people to make their life better and richer in every area of our life. And today we have today's topic is relationships. This is a 3 video series, and then today's topic we are going to cover the committed relationships, premarital and postmarital, not extramarital, huh? So today we have with us Professor Leo Lobo, who has been working with relationships for past 40 years, and we are generous enough to give him 20 minutes today to teach us whatever he has learned in last 40 years. So I think that is a great enough time for you, Leo.
Well, thank you very much for your generosity, because I don't know what I can do in 20 minutes, but when I have you with me, Dr. Pavnesh, well, everything is possible. Dr. Pavnesh, dear friends, is a member of Team Exodia. He is a medical doctor, master in public health, working right now day in and day out in this pandemic season. Well, a close friend, NLP master practitioner. His heart is in NLP. When he treats patients, he uses NLP skills. That's what I like about him. And always enthusiastic, excited. Even today, when he called up and said, "Hey, Leo, we are doing this live." I'm excited to be with you, Pavnesh.
That's great, Leo. So let's jump right into the topic, relationships. And today, when we are talking about the committed relationships, Leo, and when I happen to meet people who are couples, and then the common issues, the problems are, he doesn't understand me, she doesn't listen to me. We have trust issues, or we have insecurity issues, we have family issues, and there are lots of issues they talk about. And usually when we start to work with them, we start to see certain patterns. But I believe these are not the core issues. These are the offshoots of certain fundamental violations of certain principles. So that is the root that we call. So Leo, am I right in saying that there is a root from which all these problems are emerging? And if they are, what is your take on that?
Well, you are medical professional, so I would say there are symptoms and there are actual problems. Right. Symptoms sometimes we treat in relationship without going into the actual problem. Now, we are talking about relationship. When we relate, actually, when I meet a person, I like a person maybe, okay, then we connect. And first, before connection, we contact, we come in contact. And that contact leads us to connection. And actually, the progression from contact to connection is what that matters. If some people do not progress, there is only contact. It is like, just imagine two wires contacting. They are not connected. So what happens when they come? There is a circuit completes and current flows. So after some time, it can break. And that's the time this wire says, this one is not understanding me. No, this one, you are having a problem. So then we have in Hindi, we call that tu me happens. So can we understand this progression? When I am in first contact, can I build that? Can I solder that contact, the point of contact, so that a permanent connection establishes? When there is connection, what happens is the current flows, energy flows. So for me, a good relationship is one in which there is a support for the connection, support for the energy flow. And I would say two important pillars of a good relationship is or are one, communication. The second one is respecting the boundaries. Now, communication, you take the word itself. when I'm in communion with you, come union. I'm inviting you for an union. And that's what the communication is all about. Every word I speak, every gesture of mine is an invitation for you to unite with me, physically, emotionally, psychologically. If that doesn't happen, I still remain in contact. Therefore, problems start when we don't solder that joint of contact to establish a connection. That's what happens.
Wow. So does it happen that sometimes in a relationships people come and say we have lost that spark now? It was there from the beginning, but now it's gone. So is it like they moved back to the stage where they are just contacting and not connecting? Have they regressed back? Was
No,
it that they start?
the spark actually, when you say spark, it can happen when I meet someone. Let's say I met, I'm young, I am looking for a partner in my life. I meet somebody and there's something happens. Kuch kuch hota hai. Then that's the spark you're talking about.
Yes.
And I need to grow from that spark.
Mm.
Right. Now, what happens is, let's understand a marital relationship. Two people born in different environment, experience different environment, they come together. They remain in the environment. If they remain in the same environment, the union doesn't happen. They need to grow through that environment. So when they come into the new environment, Pavanesh, we all know in our NLP, we talk about logical levels, and the basic level is the environmental level. Let's say I come from an environment where things are made available to me. I come to a new environment when things are not made available to me. Correct. I need to reach out. I need to get it. And that's the time I say, wow, what is this? I need to change. Then I look for opportunities to change you. To understand this, I'll give you a little story to understand this maybe. In Christian marriage, what happens is the groom waits near the altar. There's an altar where the mass is celebrated.
Altar.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Altar.
Altar.
Okay, yeah. So what happens is the bride's father brings the bride along with him towards the altar, right? And they have to walk through the passage called aisle. Right?
Aisle. Mhm.
And when the bride starts her walk, the choir is the group which sings. Choir sings the hymn. That's called entrance hymn. So the girl thinks in her mind, oh, I'm walking. Aisle she sees. She sees the altar right in front. Then she hears the hymn. So all of a sudden these words join together and something happens. For her, I'll alter him. I'll alter him. I will alter him. I will alter him. Well,
Right.
if this is the attitude of person, any person, maybe a boy or a girl, I change the other person, then we are into problems. Well, can I understand the environment of the person? Because a person grown till then in the other environment, can I understand? And that's what I talk about, communication. That's important. Can I respect that environment? And next level is the behavior. If my behavior could be a simple behavior, all right, normally, boys behave in a particular way, girls behave in a particular way. Initially it is difficult to adjust. It is. I remember I was born in an environment. Well, we were 4 boys. We used to throw things around. Correct? So I used to come inside, throw the shirt around. All right. My wife was not like that. She wanted to have everything sorted out. Well, it took some time for her to understand me and me to understand her. Can I have patience? If I do not have patience, then the problem comes. So we need to grow through these levels. Not remaining in the environment, not remaining at the level of behaviors or the skills. We need to go towards experiencing each other, each other's values, attitude at that level. Then our relationship becomes really spiritual. Otherwise, we will remain only at the ritual level. Remember the word spiritual, S-P-I-R-I, you know that spelling. We only focus on the ritual. If you really move from the basic level to the spiritual level, well, no ritual matters then.
Right. But Leo, when we introduce these things to people, sometimes
Yeah.
they say, does that mean I have to compromise? For them, this, the compromise words come very naturally, very fast when we start to talk about. Does that mean I have to adjust and compromise? Is that what you mean?
Well,
So
when we talk about relationships, we can think of various type of relationships. Like in some relationship we can compete, and sometimes we really fight. Sometimes we are passive, active. Sometimes aggressive, compromising. All this are there, various types. But the way we move towards is towards that point where we understand each other, where we really share and care. Here, is important. When we talk about compromises, well, it is, I don't call that word as a compromise. I call here that particular word, I change it to we, adjust each other so that we don't compete with each other. Because when do we compete? When we look at each other as equal. Equal, not functionally, but equal physically also, which is not possible. Equality, you fight, you will not end. For me, a relationship is complementing. Instead of equality, let us bring in complementality. What you don't have, I bring in. And what I don't have, you bring in. So what happens is then the union comes in. Once I went to the bank, I presented a check. Okay. So what happened? The cashier told me, sir, you don't have balance. Then I thought to myself, I've been withdrawing money from the bank, not depositing anything. Same way it can happen in relationship. I need to deposit something in my relationship. Some of us deposit time, energy, enthusiasm, excitement, right? Support to each other. These are deposits. Appreciation, listening, understanding. These are deposits. When we withdraw only, what will happen? There won't be any balance. So my question to people where they have problem is, am I asking a question, what do I get from my spouse or from my partner? Or is my question, what do I contribute to make my partner a different person? It is not, what do I get? What do I contribute? What do I deposit in my relationship? More you deposit, more you become stronger. Yes, Pavnesh.
Yeah. So there is one interesting simile that came to me. Since you talked about ATM, some people are like ATM, I'll keep drawing, give me support, give me respect, give me love, give me everything, right? But there is another kind of people who are like credit card, like a credit card, you purchase once and you keep paying, it doesn't end. So some people complain that we are giving so much that there's no end, and in the end we are not able to give. We are exhausted of giving, and now we cannot do anything. So how to balance between the two?
I would say, learn to say no. Learn to accept a no. Somewhere we missed on this. When my partner says no, I feel angry because I don't accept a no. I need to learn to accept a no also. I need to say no comfortably, tactfully. If this is followed, what happens is I don't have to be giving, or don't have to be receiving. No, I can choose to receive and choose to give. And there is another dimension to this. Sometimes our upbringing, the incidents in our life, what happens is many places, there may be some energy blocks. It could be some traumatic events of our life. They are hampering our relationship. I know in my work, when I start with couples, I ask them individually, do you have any traumatic events? Some people, they have that. What happens is they do not know whether that is troubling them. Actually, that is the root cause for many things. There may be anger, there may be grief.
Leo, does this traumatic incidents have necessity to be with their partner, or it can be from their past with somebody else?
It could be from anywhere. Need not be from the present partner. Like for example, need not be from the present partner. Definitely no. Maybe in other relationships, maybe at home, maybe with the siblings. It is not necessary for another partner as such, no. It could be in the school, some traumatic events. I remember one girl had an incident. Okay. In one of the labs we discovered, this girl had an incident, when she was in the 4th standard. She had a pet dog, which is a street dog. Once her brother came and snatched the dog, and she lost that dog, which was a very traumatic event for her. And she stopped talking to her brother. And actually, when we were dealing with her, we found out she was disconnecting in relationship. That disconnect comes in because of the grief which is not handled. There need to be something to be handled in the past. So there could be many reasons. So a good NLPN, if you go to, you'll understand that person will be able to help you, definitely. Because NLP gives, neuro-linguistic programming gives us skills which are powerful, quick, and long-lasting.
How long did you take to deal to help this girl deal with her trauma?
Incidentally, she was in one of our labs. We conduct a lot of labs where we handle these issues. That's a 3-day program we conduct. Now, of course, because of the pandemic, we are not doing it. Otherwise, regularly we do that in India and abroad. So that's one aspect of it. Or you can meet any NLP person and talk about it, and they can help you in 1 or 2 sessions max. That's what happens. Yes.
Right. So these are the issues. So what are 3 key messages that you would like to give to somebody who wish to enhance or enrich their relationship?
Well, one thing, we talk about love. Okay, we are, loving couple. There's a couple challenge going on right now. I see people holding like that. And I know one couple, well, there's a lot of issues. At home they fight, but lovely Facebook picture. Okay. Now, what is love? Love without action is dead. Love without action is dead. Now, we say we love each other. What is the action which helps me to understand I love the other person? What is the action that person gives me or makes me experience? Do we experience each other in action?